Hey everybody, Tom here. Happy New Year. It is January 1st, 2018, and what better way to kick off the new year than to start a campaign of Gloomhaven. It finally showed up. I was one of those anxiously waiting on the BGG forum, tracking things and posting that everyone was getting theirs but mine, and bleh. But it finally showed up, and I was so excited. And so this is going to be our campaign setup video. It's not going to be the same as most setup videos. So I'm going to actually be moving the camera and cutting, differently than I would probably for the scenario, for example. But I want to help you and anyone who's interested in watching get started on how to do the Gloomhaven campaign setup. There's a few steps that you need to be aware of and all of that stuff. So here we go. Honestly, my camera is as far back as it can go. My tripod is as far up as it can go, and this beast is just filling everything. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off. Now I do have the broken token insert in here, and I spent several hours last week getting everything punched out and sorted, and holy cow, it took a while. But it was obviously a very fun project to do. So you're going to see that I do have the broken token insert. I actually, truth be told, bought both the broken token insert and the Meeple Realty insert. And I think they're both awesome, and I would have been happy with either one. I bought both, I built both, and then I tried out both. I know, I'm crazy. Excuse me. And eventually I just had to pick one. And then I gave my other inserts to my friend who lives in California, because he just barely got a roommate who has Gloomhaven, and I was like, awesome, here's an insert for you. I gave it to him, and they've been using that. So, yeah. All right, so what we've got here, and just to kind of navigate you through the box of stuff, because again, if you're just getting Gloomhaven, you might be super overwhelmed. I'm hoping this video will help you get your life into focus. Here we've got this elements tray. I have my instructions on how to pack everything back into the box in case I forget. We've got stickers, some kind of something or other, and we have a party sheet. I'm going to be needing that for this video. I did pay for the solo scenarios, obviously, and then, excuse me, okay, you might hear me burping. I'm going to try my best to edit it out. But I did all of my goal for 2017 was no soda. And then to ring in 2018, I had my first root beer, because that's my favorite soda, last night. And it is like, I have not had carbonation in so long, and it is killing me right now. Anyway, so we got all of these stickers. I'm just going to pull those out to the side for now. And then we've got this tray of the map tiles for when you're doing your scenarios. And we've got this board. This is going to be our campaign board, so I'm going to definitely have this out. And we'll look closer at it as we go from scenario to scenario and stuff like that. But anyway, that's for the campaign, so we'll just put that out over there somewhere. And we've got our rule book. I have been spending time with this. It is a lot of stuff to take in. But it's a pretty good rulebook. It's just, there's so much going on. And so again, that's the reason why I'm doing this video is if you want to start a Gloomhaven campaign, you have all of these components and don't know where to start. Let me see if I can help you out from the stuff that I've learned through reading things. Okay, we've got our scenario book. And then what you're going to see is tokens and cards galore. We obviously don't need that for the campaign setup, so I'm just going to pull those out, get them off to the side, out of the way, like that. And we've got these different map tile edition thingies going there. And now we're kind of getting to the stuff that we need to start paying attention to. Now, for the broken token insert, it only works if you pull out 4 of the characters. So I just went through in the scenario, or in the rule book, it will have a list of different classes that are unlocked to you at the beginning. So this is just down here on page 42 if you need it. But basically at the beginning of the game, you can open up any of these 6 boxes to start off with your starting characters. You can get the Brute, the Tinkerer, Spellweaver, Scoundrel, the Cragheart, and the Mind Thief. Now, when I was trying to set up the box, I just had to pick 4, so I literally just grabbed the very first 4 that I saw. And so you'll see that the Cragheart and the Mind Thief are still in the box. The other 4 boxes I've got here on the side, they just don't fit in the box anymore. And so I'm just keeping them outside of the box for now. But you can see that I've got those first 4 classes set up here. We're going to look closer at this here in just a minute. But again, I'm just trying to give you a tour of what we've got inside of the box. I also had to find their standees out of this little crate here. And a couple more things to point out. We will be looking at these. These are like the regular sized cards. We'll be looking at that in this video. And we're going to need to be looking at these smaller cards also in this video as part of setup. You can see down here, there's all of the monsters and villains that we're going to be facing. And, oh my gosh, excuse me, root beer, holy cow. And some more tokens and stuff. But for right now, what we're going to be needing is, we've got these 2 classes are unlocked, 4 that I just picked to begin with. And so I'm going to pull these 4 out of the box really soon. Like that. And yeah, okay, I'm going to pause the camera. I just want to get rid of stuff that we don't care about for right now, and we're going to come back and we're going to start setting up our party. Okay, so as I just mentioned, to begin a campaign, there are 6 characters that are unlocked for you, and these are the 6 characters that are unlocked, and they all have their own box here. And so in setting up the insert, knowing that I was going to have to store the whole game somewhere, I just had to pick 4 characters to go ahead and unpack and put into the broken token character trays that I already had. So just to remind you, this is the Brute, this is the Tinkerer, the Spellweaver, the Scoundrel, the Cragheart, and the Mind Thief. And so I just unpacked the first 4 that I saw. So we need to pick a party, and for me, I'm going to start with a party of 2 so that it's controllable. And so I'm going to put these back into the box, into the unlocked space, which means that I can choose to play those characters later if I want to. And then after that, I unpacked everything out of their boxes. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these boxes now. They're just going to go on my shelf. And that left me with 4 characters here. And now just to show you what comes in each box you're going to get a character sheet. Well, I don't know what these are called. This is like a character board and then a character sheet. There's a couple different copies in here like that. The game comes with 4 different health and experience points trackers, so I've just put one of those in each of these boxes here. But also when you open the box, so this doesn't come in the box that you open, that was with the game. But these 2 things came with the box, and then this deck of ability cards came in the box, and we got the miniature out of the smaller boxes that I showed you, and it also comes with a bunch of these little tokens here. And this did not come in the box. This was in, it didn't come in the mini box. This didn't come in here. These came with the main part of the box, and these are just attack modifiers that we've got here. Oh, no, these ones did come in the box. Sorry. Yeah, so these are attack modifiers that came in the box. These ones did. There are others that we'll be using that did not come in the box. And so I've just put these here for now. And we're going to be looking closer at those. We're deciding what we're using and where we're putting in all that stuff here in just a second. But yeah, so basically to kick off the campaign, oh, I forgot to put that there. I need to form a party. And so talking to my buddy that lives in California, I just asked for his recommendations, and his recommendation was for sure the Brute. And then after the Brute, either the Spellweaver or he said the Mind Thief, which I think, yeah, or the Mind Thief. This one. Well, since I already have the Spellweaver unboxed, I think that's going to be our starting party. So I'm going to go ahead and move the Scoundrel and the Tinkerer out of the way. And we're going to start with the Brute, and we're going to start with the Spellweaver, like that. Okay, so when setting up your character, especially as you're pulling things out of the box, it can get a little bit tricky and confusing. So I'm going to show you what came in the box for each of the characters here in a second again. I know we already looked at it, but I want to get specific to these characters here. But we're going to need a couple more things to actually set up our characters. And this is where I had initially been a little confused. But yeah, okay, so the first thing that we're going to need for each of our characters is their starting modifier deck. So each character is going to come with a modifier deck down here, but that's going to be specific to their character, and the way that you can tell that's going to be specific to their character is it has this, but my best understanding is that these are like level up cards. They're not the actual starting modifier cards. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to go through all of your cards, and you're going to want to find the deck of cards that's the standard, the small modifier cards. And the way you can tell it's standard is it's going to have just a plain number in the corner instead of the actual symbol. And so what I'm going to be doing is trading some stuff out here in a second, but you need to find a basic modifier deck, one for each of your characters that you're playing. And so I'm just grabbing all of the ones with a 1 here, and those are going to go to the brute. And then I'm going to find all of the ones with a 2, a 2, and we're going to give those over here to the Spellweaver, like that. And then one more thing that we're going to do before we dive in and look closer at our characters is there's a deck of cards, and I can't remember what these are called, but they look like this. And what we need to do is we need to shuffle these up and deal 2 to each character. Oh, and sorry, these are called personal quest cards. I just remembered. So I'm going to give these a shuffle, and rather than shuffling super great, I'm just going to randomly pick 2 and hand them out to each character. So we'll grab this one and this one. And then over here we're going to grab that one and that one. All right. So that's what we're going to need to set up our characters. Let's go set up each character individually before we establish the party. Now, I'm not exactly sure how other players handle this. You can let me know in the comments. I honestly don't know what other people have done. I have avoided every video possible, so I haven't seen any videos about this game. I want it to be spoiler free as much as possible, and that's why I've been asking my friend for advice, is because I didn't want to look stuff up, and he knows that I've been avoiding spoilers, so he's been really good about helping me in that way. And so, again, when you unpack the box, it comes with this stuff here. I'm going to be keeping the modifier there. It just doesn't come in this box here. So this box comes with these cards, these tokens, this, and this. And then you grab the standee from the matching, the box with the matching symbol. And so we're going to definitely need to keep these 2 things around. Put them right here for right now. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take some of these cards out, and I'm going to put them back in the box. I don't know where else to put it in the storage solution. There are some spots, but I feel like they're just going to get lost. And so the first thing I'm going to do is looking at our, I think these are called ability cards. We're going to go through, and I just want to keep any of the ones that have a 1 on the top, because those are unlocked to us right now as level 1 cards. Now there are also cards with an X that are unlocked to us now, but they're apparently a little more complicated to use, so I definitely don't want to use those to start off, but they are available to us. And then we have different levels of cards up here that we can use to upgrade our deck. So when creating your deck, your starting hand, you can only have the number of cards that are shown on this icon. So we're going to start with exactly 10 cards. I don't know how many are here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So these are going to be our 10 starting cards. I'm going to keep that here in this playing area, and I'm going to put the rest of these cards into this box here in just a second. So that they're accessible for when I upgrade, but I don't want to see them. I don't want to know what they are, things like that. And again, like I said, to start off, our attack modifiers are going to be the ones with the 1. As far as I understand, hopefully I'm doing this correctly, these attack modifiers are for upgrading, and so they are not available to us at this point. So I'm going to also put these back into this box so that I don't see them until it's time. We're going to go ahead and put these here. We're going to put that there. Like that. It's going to be messy, but at least they're in there, and at least they're safe. And so, these are the things, is that upside? Will this make you guys happier? It might make me happier, honestly. Much better. Okay, I'll do better on the Spellweaver. Alright, so we've got the things we're going to be using from game to game stuck in here. We've got things that we can unlock. I'll keep that in the box, and I'll just keep it nearby. And then, we've got our brute board and our character sheet. So what we're going to do first is we need to pick a mission, and I'm going to do that before I actually write the name. I think the only thing that I need to do here is to actually write the name of our characters, so of the brute. So here we have these personal quests. We've got to find out some background information, and maybe that'll inspire me on the name, or maybe it won't. I have no idea. So we need to choose one of these two personal quests that will take us throughout the campaign. Okay, so here we go. Zealot of the Blood God. Oh my gosh, I've kind of been semi-obsessed with cults lately, so this could be fun. All these insignificant ants scurrying about. None of them know what true devotion is. Devotion is about giving over every last scrap of yourself to something greater. The writings of the old ways demand sacrifice. Only death in battle will bring back the blood god. So every fight you give, you will give. Whoa. So every fight you will give your all. Well, okay. When nothing is left, the infinite awaits. Become exhausted 12 times to open the box. Wow, okay, that could be interesting. I believe exhausting is when your health goes down to 0 during any given campaign. So, if we can get exhausted 12 times, we open the box. And I imagine we would just keep notes about that kind of a thing on this page somewhere, because I think that's probably pretty unique to him. Okay. Here we go, trophy hunt. Do you remember that the very first time an arrow shot your an arrow shot from your bow and pierced the heart of the deer, killing it instantly? That feeling of besting your prey on its own turf. But deer are such easy prey. There is far more challenging game out there. There's far more challenging game out there in the wilds, and you want to experience it all. You do not want, you do not hunt in order to kill. You kill because it is part of the hunt. Interesting. Kill 20 different kinds of monsters. Open the box. A trophy hunt. So both of those seem like they could be cool with the brute. My thought, okay, this is super nerdy. First of all, he doesn't look like somebody who would carry a bow. He looks like somebody who would just go kill. And I know that that's not specific to this, but I'm feeling like the zealot thing is a bit more interesting. It might be, again, I don't know anything about this game. I might be making the dumbest choice by planning on him becoming exhausted 12 times. I don't necessarily know the consequences of being exhausted, but it just feels fun to me. And especially where I've been reading a lot and listening to a lot of stuff about cults, I'm kind of feeling like that could be his thing. So we're going to pick this card, and then the other one just gets discarded out into the pile. And now what we've got to do is we've got to pick a name. So here's the thing. Anytime I play games where I have to pick a name, I am the worst. I pick the stupidest names, I feel. And I always feel like other people pick cooler names. And that's fine. You guys can have your cool names, and I'm just going to have my nerd names. I usually just name things after people in my universe or people on TV shows or movies that I like a lot. I'll try to get creative, but again, this is so nerdy. I think this guy who's a zealot, I think he's mostly hiding something sensitive inside. And he's a good follower, and the first thing that came to my mind as I was reading that was thinking about dogs, and how dogs are really good followers. Now, I know that is hilarious. My dog just woke up from his nap, and again, hi. I'm not going to name this after my current dog. I'm going to name this after my childhood dog, whose name was Norman. And so we're going to have Norman the Brute. I think that'll give him some depth. All right, so Norman is at level 1 right now, so we're going to color that in because he's at level 1. Okay, very cool. All right, you guys meet Norman the Brute. I think we're going to have a good time. I'm going to go ahead and put this card in here. We will put that there. I'm going to add his page and his thing right there. And I'm going to go ahead and store that somewhere safe. I'm thinking that this is going to go back in the box, and I'm just going to pull out the characters I'm not using out of the box. That'll be the better plan, because of 6 characters, I'm using 2. There we go. Smarts. We're smart. Okay, so here we've got our Spellweaver. We basically just need to do that same thing with her. So let's go ahead and take this stuff out. We'll just move this to the side for right now. And so, same idea, only this time the Spellweaver, she can hold on to 8 cards. And I'm guessing there's going to be 8 level 1 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, and then they go into X, and then the rest. So I'm just going to put these cards down here. We're going to add these to the box here in just a second. And we're going to take out her specific modifiers that have her symbol. And we're going to just add the basic modifiers. Hers are the number 2. We're going to put those in here. Looks like some of her tokens got away from her, and I was inconsistent and put them on a different side. So I got to move these back. What was I thinking? And then there she is. I wish I had a really good painter. If anybody wants to paint these things for free, because I'm poor, contact me, and that would be so fun. All right, these are going to get put into the box. I'll keep these nearby. There's that. And I'll turn that, it doesn't matter. Okay, so her 2 possible ones, Vengeance and Augmented Abilities. All right. Sure, Gloomhaven may not be the coziest place, but that's perfectly fine when it has so many other things going for it. Namely, I don't know what that is. Esters. Esters? Aethers. Someone help me out there. You have never seen so many. There are even rumors of one in town with the ability to strengthen a person through magic. Okay, ethers? Whatever. With a little with a little enhancement, you could excel at anything. That sounds fun and seems good for a Spellweaver. Purchase 4 enhancements in order to meet this requirement. Holy root beer. And it's going to require the Power of Enhancement Global Achievement. Okay, so I think that has to do with the stickers. Like, we would get this achievement, and then we can start adding stickers to some of our cards, is my best understanding from reading the rule book. Okay, that does seem thematic with the Spellweaver, but I am curious about the Vengeance. When you close your eyes, you can still see the 2 of you as children, happily at play. When you open your eyes, however, all you see is your best friend dead. The guards claim it was an accident, but you know different. The guilty must be found and vengeance exacted. Sometimes blood begets blood. Complete 4 scenarios in Gloomhaven, then unlock investigation and follow it to a conclusion. Oh, man. Okay, so along with my love of cults, I've kind of really gotten into true crime lately. Some of you may have picked up on a My Favorite Murder reference that I did a little while ago. But these are both cool. I mean, this one's a positive one and this one's a dark one. But I really like this one, just seems more interesting to me. So we're going to go ahead and stick with Vengeance because it just sounds more interesting. I just said that, but it sounds more interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that one. And let's put that just down here so that we remember that we've got it. It's our personal quest. And that's going to go right here. So I've been thinking about names all night. Well, really for a while. Because again, I'm self-conscious. It's the names. And here is my dorky thing. Alright, looking at her, it looks like she has a bunch of crystals coming out of her head. And so my basic thought was to name her Crystal. But, oh, and this could even play with it. Okay, so here's my thought. I don't know if any of you have seen the Australian TV show called Summer Heights High, or We Can Be Heroes. There's a prequel for that, or the first, it doesn't matter. Anyway, that might be one of my favorite comedies of all time. I've watched it so many times and I love it a lot. And it has this really stuck-up, snotty character named Jamie. Her parents named her Jamie, but she decided she didn't like that name, so she added an apostrophe into her name. And so her name is Jam apostrophe IE, and she wants people to call her Jamae. So, what if, with our vengeance theme, Crystal was her birth name, and then as she has taken on this new identity and she started investigating, it's kind of like a Batman identity, almost, like she's hiding behind the name Crystal. And how would we make the name Crystal? Okay, so her name was Crystal. Her name was Crystal, but she wants people to call her Crystal. What if we do Crystal, and then she added an E and an accent. And people will get her name wrong throughout the entire scenario. They're going to call her Crystali, and she's going to be like, no, it's Crystal. And no one will know that she was Crystal from the past, or something really ridiculous like that. If you guys are lucky, I'm going to let you name my next character. But this is what we're doing for right now. We've got Norman, and we've got Crystali. So Norman is the zealot. We've got Crystal, who's on a mission to figure out what the deal is with her friend. And those are our characters. They're set up and ready to go. So now that we've picked our personal quests, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those 2 cards and I'm going to add them back into the deck, and we'll just give it a good shuffle. I don't know if I should just put it at the bottom or shuffle there. Sometimes that does matter. And then we're just going to go ahead and throw those back in here. On this side, what we've got are some player aids, which is extremely helpful. And then down here we have, I think these are just random scenarios. So like these are random bad guys that can go into random map tiles if you wanted to play. Now another part of setting up your campaign, and these are just all the regular size cards, is you're going to have some road cards and some city cards. So to set up your campaign, what we're going to need to do is we need to take out the first 30 cards of each type. So cards 1 through 30, we're going to pull those out, and these cards are going to be the ones that are available for us. So let me just put that, where should we put this? I got to do this smartly. We're going to put these here. Let's move this divider back one. Okay, so the ones that are available are going to be up here in the front. I've got these over here. And we need to do the same thing with the city cards. So I'm going to grab the first 30, and then these cards will be added to as time goes on. So we're going to add these ones here. I almost flipped you guys off, sorry. Okay, so these are going to be the road and city cards that are available to us. And then I'm going to keep that spacer there, maybe? What do I want to do? Yeah, okay, here's what we'll do. And then we will struggle here, put this divider here, like that. Let's not break things today, that would be such a good idea. Like that, and I'm just going to put the ones that are not available to us yet back here. So these are the ones that are available and are not available, and I'll just keep it sorted like that. And with those separated, we do need to give each deck a shuffle. So I'm just going to go ahead and shuffle, and then there will be effects that tell us to return a card. And if we return a card, if I remember correctly, we just add it to the bottom of this deck, or I'm going to put it in the back. And if we are supposed to add a new card, then we add it to the deck and then reshuffle everything. So there we go. I'm not even looking. Those go right there. City cards, same thing. We're just going to give it a shuffle. It's not a good shuffle, but it's a shuffle nonetheless. Oh man, once again, I'm sitting here looking at the camera wishing we had 3D glasses for this amazing moment. I just think that would make things so much better. And I would get a lot of views if we did that. Okay, those are shuffled, ready to go. Okay, the next thing that you've got to make sure when you do your setup, looking at the small cards, is, well, we've already talked about our attack modifiers, so there were 2 decks that I had here that I have pulled out for Norman and Crystal. And then we have 2 more basic modifier decks that are available. And then we have some of these other cards. I think that one might be a curse and a blessing or something like that. And then we have these over here that'll be specific for different scenarios, I think. Back here, what we're going to have are like personal... Oh no, these aren't personal objectives. These are like side quests, I believe. Sometimes we'll have to draw a side quest. Things like that. And then these right here... Oh, what are these? These ones are... Oh, battle goals, yeah. So the beginning of a scenario, we're going to be dealt some random goals, and they're going to be kept secret from ourselves, but they're goals that we're trying to reach within the scenario. Now over here we have item cards, and these item cards have these numbers on the side. Now I didn't know this until after I read the rulebook. Initially I had set up these cards so that like cards 0 through 9 were here, 10 through 19 were here, 20 through 29 were here, and so on. And so I had all of these filled up that way. But going through the rule book, it gives you a chart here, and it will show you how you should sort these different cards. So as Gloomhaven gains prosperity, new cards are going to be unlocked. So what I've done here, and would probably recommend as you're starting your campaign, is to sort the item cards. You want 1 through 14 in one spot, 15 through 21, 22 through 28, and so on. And you'll see that the cards stop at 70, and so that's what is back here. We've got cards 64 through 70 back here. And then all of these other cards, 71 through 150, are up here. And you just keep those separate. Those will be added in later through different effects. But then you're also going to have blue cards. And these blue cards go from 71 down to 95. And for your campaign, these cards need to be shuffled as well. Because there will be times where you're told to grab a random one of these. And so it would probably be a good idea to have these shuffled. At least that was how I interpreted this, right? If I'm wrong, he'll correct me, and I'm just going to have to resort all of these cards. We're going to go ahead and just give those a nice quick shuffle. One more time for the children, for Crystal and Norman. And there's that. Right there. Okay, so Norman and Crystal are just about ready. They're going to form a party. Now, I don't know why people would get together and name themselves as a group. I know that my group of friends and I don't have a name, but clearly we should. So I have been standing here looking around the room trying to think of just amazing names. And in my sight, there are, some real winners going on here. But one thing that's catching my eye in front of my face is I have a Dharma Initiative orientation kit from Season 5 of Lost, the Special Edition Blu-ray. And I just realized if we put an N at the end of Dharma, it says Dharmans. And so this is going to be the Dharman party. And so we're going to go ahead and label our party sheet the Dharman. I don't know what that means. It obviously means something good. We've got our cult worshipping leader here, and then we have our spell weaving vengeance seeker trying to seek out her friend. I think we're going to leave this location part blank. I am guessing that just tracks where your party is from one scenario to the next, probably. I can't remember exactly, but we're going to be good there. And we start off with a reputation of 0, so I'm just going to lightly mark that with an X, because that's something we're going to be erasing and redoing. I'm highly contemplating laminating things and using a dry erase marker or something for this stuff. I just haven't decided to do that officially yet, which is why I am just using a paper and a pencil, and super glad that I can print things off and that we have extra copies of stuff there. And finally, there really isn't anything to do with this map to kick off the campaign that I could find in the rule book. And my best guess, I haven't opened the scenario book yet, but my best guess is that the very first scenario is going to tell us something to do on here. I know that there are stickers to be putting on these different places as we discover stuff. Up here at the top, it's hard to see from this angle, sorry. There's a spot for global achievements, and there's kind of like these flags that are hanging down. So I think as we make global achievements, we'll be putting stickers there. We'll be marking off the prosperity of the town of Gloomhaven, I think, down here on the board. And you can see kind of a map of the universe with a zoomed in map. It's the inset, right there, of Gloomhaven. And so we have all of these different things that we're going to be exploring. My understanding is to kick off the campaign, you don't start anything now. But we will do it when we kick off the first scenario. But yeah, so I'm excited to get Norman and Crystal on this adventure. I've been waiting a very long time. I almost did the first Kickstarter, but I had never Kickstarted anything before, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I knew that was a can of worms I wouldn't be able to close, and that has proven to be the case. But yeah, so excited to have the second edition. If you're excited about this video, cool. I am excited about it myself. And if you're worried that I'm going to stop doing the other kinds of games, don't worry at all. I plan on doing Gloomhaven videos probably every 3 videos, I'm guessing. So like we'll play 2 normal games and then come back to Gloomhaven, and 2 normal games and come back to Gloomhaven. But this is the first Legacy game that I've owned that I felt like I could play by myself, which is great for my living situation where my other Legacy players are far away. So like my Time Stories, I know that's not Legacy, but same idea. So Time Stories and Pandemic Legacy and Charterstone and things like that, I'm playing that with my family members who don't live close by. But this is a game that there's no way I would be able to sit down and play with these guys all the way through. But if I wanted to play it with them, I could have them grab a character and jump right in. We could play a couple scenarios. But for the most part, I'm planning on playing this on camera with you guys watching. Hopefully that's all right with you. I am so excited. I'm going to be playing Scenario 1 a little bit later today, and I look forward to seeing you guys there. Thank you guys for watching, and we will get our Gloomhaven on really soon. Bye!